Hello, everybody. I'm Michael,
I'm Ethan.
and we are coming in with a major update regarding Ohio theme parks. So for our Ohio viewers, you might want to listen up. Break it down, Ethan.
So basically, today, Governor DeWine, the governor of Ohio, announced that in 2 weeks' time,
Yeah,
that
2 weeks.
Ohio. So that target date would be July 19th. If you're
No,
wondering,
so it'd be June 19th. But yes, and you kind of
June 19th. June 19th.
yeah, and you kind of broke up there. But basically, what Ethan's trying to say is that Governor DeWine, aka Governor of Ohio. Oh, slight error. Basically, Governor of Ohio, definitely all you Ohio folks know him, but basically announced, and ironically, after Kings Island was going to sue Ohio health officials over the reopening, Governor DeWine announces that Kings Island can reopen again. So this is a big deal, especially for anybody who is any theme park fans in Ohio, because the two major parks are scheduled to open. However, one big detail
Yeah,
is, and this is as of this is recording, and I promise, as I promise this channel, when we do get an update on other stuff with this reopening, we will. I'll film like a quick video to update. But basically, they have not officially scheduled when the parks will reopen, like the exact day, because they still have to sort some stuff with Governor DeWine.
so basically, June 19th won't be the day that Kings Island will open.
Maybe.
They won't open.
Well, yeah, they probably won't open because again, the First Riders benefit auction, which anyone who is watching this video and is also going to the Orion First Riders benefit auction is also a fan of our channel. Kind of meet and greet if you want to, but we will be at the First Riders benefit auction, which we have been anxiously waiting for. So there's a possibility that could happen on the 19th, but here's what I think would honestly happen with Kings Island reopening here. I honestly think that it wouldn't be. It'd be right after the ninth. It'd be after the 19th. Thursday would be when the Orion benefit auction happens, because if quarantine didn't happen, then April 9th would have been the day it would have reopened. Well, it would have Orion thing would have happened. Then Friday would be the Gold Pass preview day, and then obviously that Saturday would be the opening day. So yeah, that's honestly what I would think would be the opening thing.
Me, I think you're kind of forgetting media day. So you have to kind of factor that in for like riding and stuff. Because it's a new ride, and usually just Mr. Timbers had it, media day, and all that stuff. So I would I would say maybe this will happen in a period of 2 weeks, because I'm pretty sure the original First Riders auction was like scheduled like a week before, or like the Thursday before it was supposed to open.
Well,
So I was
yeah. It was like either a week or two before it was originally. No, it was a week before it was originally scheduled to reopen. Well, open, and then basically what happened um then it would have been the preview the pass holder preview day, and followed with opening day. So yeah, hopefully we'll hopefully it will be soon. But yeah, so yeah, villain. But yeah, so another thing on recent testing footage of Orion. Now, from, now, just so you know, when I do say this, it's not there's a private event going on now. It's most likely people who actually work for Cedar Fair or Kings Island. But recently, and this was posted yesterday, from what I saw, there's actual footage of people riding Orion. But again, it's most likely Cedar Fair workers or Kings Island workers. But let's talk about the test footage that we've been seeing and how it really is different from the POV, from the animated POV. Now, have you seen the testing footage, Ethan? Because I know I told you about it.
I have not.
Okay, so I'll break down this testing footage here. Basically, on comparing the animated POV to test footage, this thing definitely looks like the pacing is a lot better. So if you're gonna judge pacing off of the animated POV, you don't do that, because if you look at testing footage of it, Coaster Studios I know has testing footage. So does Ohio Valley Coasters, and a bunch of other channels who were just there. But basically, the thing looks like it is hauling through. Like, even that giant floater airtime hill that you would think would move slow, you're flying over that. So now I'm actually less worried about there not being a lot of airtime because of the pacing, which that is an issue that we should address. Ethan, take us away with concerns of what might be bad with Orion.
Some concerns is it's not as tall as a B&M, as an actual, like you never expect it to be as tall as Fury. Well, as like I'm just saying that Orion is very, very small for a B&M Giga, and yes, it might look fast from the outside, but like maybe it's not. I don't know.
But, yeah, and that is something to also address with Orion. It is still frustrating that the actual height of it, like actual height of the lift hill, is not 300 feet, and it's only the drop that's 300 feet, and even at that, it's 300 feet exactly. And they could have done like 300 exactly foot drop, but the thing that kind of upsets me is if they didn't want to outdo Millennium Force, which literally the same year Millennium Force opened, it got outdone by Steel Dragon 2000. So if it was to not to outrival, and it's also, you look at Cedar Point and Kings Island, they're almost completely different. Cedar Point is a huge focus on coasters and stuff. Like, they are the coaster capital of the world, and they have many things that Kings Island does not have. So I feel like, why would that be the thing? So yeah, like, and even that, they could have at least made it like 305 feet tall or something. Also, I kind of wish it was a bit of a longer ride.
Yeah, it definitely looks shorter.
Well, it actually is.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, like it's shorter in length, in probably than it really is. So, and also that massive big run. I feel like I don't know, but I'm thinking right now it's just like if they could have added something more than like a freaking giant brake run.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or like that last drop, like the last drop that goes into the brakes. I kind of wish that it would have been a bigger dip instead of like a tiny dip, because really I only feel like that dip, I'm really thinking you're only going to get much airtime if you're in the back seat.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I don't have a problem with, because many coasters I'm a backseat person. But one thing, and this might sound controversial to many people, but I wouldn't be surprised if I walk off of Orion thinking Diamondback is better.
Yeah.
Because honestly, what I thought Orion was going to be is I thought it was going to basically be upscaled Diamondback and like have a lot of like massive hills and stuff like that. And I mean, the one element I'm really looking forward to is that massive wave turn right after the drop. And I know that's going to be good because I've experienced that on Steel Vengeance, and that was probably craziest airtime that I've experienced. Other than that, beyond the vertical drop on Maverick.
Yeah.
Man. So I feel like since we've gotten Orion out the way, here's an issue that I feel like is now starting to become kind of irrelevant, and kind of forgotten about, but we also should bring an update to is Vortex. Like we've already known it's closed, but I think the last time we did a video and we kind of touched on Vortex, I think I was still on the train hoping that it was going to basically be converted by Chance Morgan. Um, sadly, sadly that is not going to be the case because I've seen drone footage and Vortex is just gone completely. Like supports, track, everything. Like even the station gone. But the thing is and my battery just got a low warning, but that's okay. But basically, I say, Ethan, you and me share our predictions now on really what could replace Vortex. Like maybe not next year, but like judging by Kings Island's coaster pattern, on what could we expect? I'll let you start.
I'm going. This is really not surprising. I'm going with the B&M dive coaster. It just seems very likely since like most of the big parks in the Cedar Fair train have a B&M dive coaster.
Yeah.
And I've myself I've been personally on Yukon Striker and Val Raven.
I too have also
Canada's Wonderland and Cedar Point are really big parks, and if you not really big, but Canada's Wonderland is a big park in Cedar Fair, so it just makes sense that Kings Island would get one.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna throw three options on the table, and I'm gonna go by most likely to least likely. So my most likely option is, and yes, I agree with you on this one, a B&M dive coaster. And it's mainly, you look at kind of how the layout for how Vortex was, and it kind of is like a dive coaster. Like a dive coaster by B&M could easily fit where Vortex was. And if Kings Island wanted to build a record breaker, since Vortex, and to pay a little tribute to Vortex, when Vortex opened, it was the coaster with the most inversions. So if they really wanted to break a record, then they could have the dive coaster be the most inverting dive coaster, or something like that. And I'm not going to predict names because naming is kind of hit or miss. But basically, one big thing is so the other option I would probably present would probably be a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. Now, I kind of put that in the middle because it's kind of like being the B&M dive, but really I really couldn't. It's more of the fact that Gerstlauer trains are very small and don't fit as much people as a B&M dive train could. Because I mean, B&M dive trains are small, but B&M dive trains also hold
have eight row.
Yeah, basically, like, there's 3 rows, but it's like a lot of people in one row. So, to where a Gerstlauer coaster, it's like 3 rows of 3, or like 3 rows of 4.
And yeah, that's just not good for like a Kings Island coaster because Kings Island is a big park.
Yeah.
It's like putting a Raptor there. Like.
Yeah, that would be like putting an RMC Raptor at Cedar Point.
Yeah.
But, and here is the least likely option. And this is like totally off, but I'm judging this by what we've seen from Kings Island recently. My prediction is either a Gravity Group wooden coaster or the dueling GCI coaster that we saw at IAAPA. Because think about it, Kings Island, they really like wooden coasters. Like, adding Mystic Timbers gave them the most wooden coaster track of any park. And I'd say dueling because if it's a dueling one, then that's two new coasters that they tack on. And yeah, maybe not add, but I say Gravity Grip just for variety here. Um, but basically, and it's also it would kind of be cool because you have to add a new wooden coaster where Vortex is, because where Vortex was, it was like right next to the Beast. Like most of the ride was right next to the Beast. So it'd almost be a cool thing to have the old classic wooden coaster. Well, and then also right across, you have parts of Racer that are right across from Vortex, from where Vortex was. So it's almost you have the two older coasters, the two older popular coasters, um, with this new and insane wooden coaster in the middle. Or if I really wanted to make this least likely, a ground up RMC wooden coaster, which I actually wouldn't complain seeing because Kings Island, that is a coaster that they do need. They do need an RMC of some kind. Either they like basically put wooden track on like the racer and basically have like an actually dueling Twisted Colossus, like basically just a dueling one. Because let's face it, Six Flags apparently hates bringing people fun rides on Twisted Colossus.
Yeah.
And like Cedar Fair, almost every coaster I know that they have that is a dueling coaster, either being Racer Rebel Yell, and I'm not calling it Racer 75 because that is the dumbest name change ever, going from Rebel Yell to Racer 75 at King's Dominion, Gemini at Cedar Point, or even Racer at Kings Island. Cedar Fair always makes sure that they can get it running. Now, unfortunately, when we went to Cedar Point, Gemini was not dueling. But Gemini was having technical issues that day, so yeah. So where I feel like if it would be a good move for Cedar Fair to add a dueling RMC because that has potential to actually be dueling. But yeah, that is what I think could replace Vortex. But it seems that we mostly agree on the B&M dive option.
Yeah.
So yeah. One thing that I am going to briefly mention, but not really talk about because it's kind of an unknown coaster thing, and we really don't have much information on it, but B&M has released a new type of coaster trademarked surf coaster. The reason why we can't really talk much about it, we honestly don't know what it is, like what kind of ride design it is, what the trains are like, how you ride it. Is it basically are we going to get a stand-up renaissance?
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's the thing is we can't really talk about it much. So yeah, that will be our video. So please leave a like on this video if you liked it. If you disliked it, just go ahead. It's a free country. Leave a comment.
And comment down below if you're going to the First Riders auction. I'd like to know.
Yeah. If you are going, also comment on what you think will replace Vortex. And then yeah, if you like the content you're seeing here, subscribe to our channel. We actually have a very interesting video that was uploaded last year that actually happened this week. And that, or this week or last week, I'm pretty sure, no, it was this week, June 2nd. Basically this week or last week, but we basically got valleyed on Backlot Stunt Coaster and got evacuated from it. So if you want to see what that looks like, go to our channel and look at it. It's really interesting. And also, if you like any of our content and like more of it, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell. Because we rarely upload it, even though we are working on trying to upload more. Especially that we are going to update you on parks reopen, Cedar Fair, mainly Ohio parks getting their reopening date. So you want to have that bell so that way you can know from us if you already didn't see from the news.
Also,
Alright.
Orion review coming soon.
Yes, coming soon will be our review on Orion when we ride it. We will give you breakdown on what we thought of it. Also, what the line queue was like, because I've seen drone footage of like a tunnel in the line queue. But yeah,
Yeah.
so anyway, I'm Michael.
I'm Ethan.
Signing off. We're the Coaster Bros. We'll see you whenever we upload.